What's going on, guys? Urban Philly Sean here with the fitnessjournals.com. And so this video in particular, you're going to hear me talk about getting banned. Well, no, that's not what the video is about. This video is more of a functional training video where I'm training one of my clients. But you're going to hear me talking about getting banned from 24-hour fitness. So that since has been resolved. I think I'm going to make a video addressing that matter. But essentially what happened, I went to 24-hour fitness as a guest, on a guest pass. I went in and they lost my license. That's what they said. They said they lost my license.
All you know, you could have forgotten that you picked it up, because the thing is, the ID didn't walk away.
I could have forgot that I picked up my own ID.
Yo, bro, yes. That's not like it's impossible, and it's not like...
Once I said, oh, I'm gonna get my lawyer to send their you guys papers, they magically found my license, which is interesting. But anyway, I'm not gonna get too much in topic there, but they did say they banned me, but I can still go back to the gym. But anyway, guys, this video is about well, he's a football player, soccer player, and we're working on some functional stuff. So I'm probably gonna do a little bit of a voiceover so you guys understand this particular style of training. Remember, guys, functionality. You have to, if you're training for something specific, the workouts cannot just be like any type of workout. You have to be specific in the nature of how you're going to develop, whether it be strength in a specific motion, a specific direction. And he did have an ACL tear. You'll hear me talk about those stuff from time to time in the video. But anyway, this video was shot a while ago. It's already 1:30. Let's get right into the video. Let's see. So I'm gonna have to pack you guys away. I'm sorry. And I'll see you guys there in a minute, okay? So, as you saw in the last video, we did get banned from 24-hour fitness. So here I am. Luckily, we do calisthenics. So waiting for Sorto to pull up, and we brought the bag. So it's gonna be today is gonna be a lot of functional stuff. So remember, his goal is to get better at soccer, get a more lean physique. So you're gonna see exactly the programming behind that and how we're gonna do it. It's nothing crazy, but it's effective. Damn. Alright, so in the meantime, I'm just gonna do a little warm up while we wait, and we're gonna get the show on the road. 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so setting up real quick. So we're gonna do some ladder drills. Hold on a little bit too. All right, some ladder drills. So we're gonna circle around the cones. Gonna do some lateral drills as well. From that cone to there. Don't worry, once you see it, everything's gonna be put into perspective, so don't worry about it. So once again, this is more for functional stuff. He is playing soccer. That's kind of what the goal is to increase that. He did tear his ACL, so we're keeping that in mind when we're setting up the workouts and putting together the drill. So it's pretty dynamic today. Nothing over the top, you know. So yeah, every time I start recording, a plane flies over. Hold on. All right, so yeah, nothing over the top, but it is effective. You got to keep in mind. So once again, an ACL tear. It's been a while since he's actually done like some moderate to high intensity resistance training, so we're taking it easy. First 1 to 4 weeks, you don't want to go crazy, especially if you're just getting back into it. So taking it easy, taking it slow. We're working more so on the endurance and functionality. That's the major key that we're going to be working on for the first 1 to 4 weeks. So keep that in mind, guys. Like I said, it's a simple detail. It's a simple detail. We out here. What park is this?
Brookville Park. Brookville.
So we out here, Brookville Park in Queens. This is Queens, correct?
Yes.
Queens. Doing a little warm up. Park here full, man. I like to see this calisthenics. It's summertime. Not summertime yet. We got a couple more days. But let's show the people. Let's make a quick pan around there. Look at that. Yeah. Park looking full. Park looking full. And so, once again, man, they kicked us out of 24-hour fitness. They told us not to come back. or when you do calisthenics, anytime, anywhere, you make what you have work for you. Alright guys, so if I continue to always tell you the importance of stretching, then you guys should have a PhD in this alone. So anyway, let me just, we're probably going to do a little bit of brain gains here. So let's talk about stretching. So pay attention to my form, how my leg is not fully, my knee is not fully extending. Let me explain a little bit why. So when beginning a movement, even stretching, be sure to be mindful of your muscles limitations. So if you know you can't go through a complete range of motion, don't do it. Don't force it. You know, fortunately your body does have like what I like to call safety brakes in place to help you prevent overstretching a muscle. Muscle spindles, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but Google it. But essentially what it is, it runs parallel to muscle fibers and they provide sensory feedback to the CNS or central nervous system, whatever, same thing. So essentially what it will do, it will tell your central nervous system about the length change and the speed of the length change of a muscle fiber. So don't let that go over your head. That is very important to understand. So think about it. Has there ever been a time where you will step, your knee locked, and then it snapped back out without you having to do anything? So what we're talking about here now is something called the stretch reflex. So essentially what it is, you may find that your muscles automatically retract due to this reflex called, once again, the stretch reflex, and this again is generated from the central nervous system to prevent the muscle from overstretching, and it will lead it to contract automatically on its own. So having that body space awareness and that mind-muscle connection is very important. You want to shy away from accelerated movement toward the end point of a motion if you're untrained, or not even if you're untrained. Especially if you're untrained, you should shy away from accelerated movement toward the end point of a motion. But if you lack mobility or flexibility in a particular exercise, you know, you really want to either omit it completely, you know, that accelerated movement, or just really pay attention to it. You do not want to reach that point where your muscle is being overstretched. The muscle spindles won't work magic. You can cause injury from this muscle spindle reaction by engaging that stretch reflex. So yeah, that stretch reflex is there for a purpose, but don't think it's just gonna, you know, cause magic and you're like, oh, I'll never overstretch a muscle because this stretch reflex is there. That is not what it is there for. It's just that kind of automatic subconscious thing that takes place when your body realizes, no, this is not right. My muscles are not made to go this far. So, you know, as you get better, as you increase more of your mobility and flexibility, you know, you'll be able to extend your range of motion. So you just have to keep at it, stay consistent, you know, particular stretching, not just stretch, oh, you know, 5 second stretch, 5 second stretch. You have to be very particular in what type of stretching that you're doing. So remember, straight line, the hand stays in a straight line, slight lean and push back with the hips back, straight down to the floor, drive forward. So watch me drive, there we go, just like that. Down, that's one, let's go. Two. When there's an existing injury, always approach your training with caution. You know, that is the major key. If you prescribe an exercise without properly assessing the injured area, you, whether you're a trainer or an athlete, whatever it is, you're going to lead yourself into a world of pain and probably further degradation of the injured area. So I haven't been talking about too much about what is going on during the video. So right now you see this exercise right here. This focuses a lot on the glutes, the quads, essentially the whole legs, and you're going to feel it in the lumbar region of your back. So don't freak out when you feel tightness in your back. That's totally normal. So that's what we're doing here. Really, as you see, we're really taking our time, flexion at the top of the movement, forcing the hip forward to really engage those glutes. That's why we push forward, kind of like when you're doing a deadlift. So that's what the resistance bands are for. You can use different weight in the resistance band, but that is the focus of that exercise, what we just did right there. So the knee is a very complex joint. People look at it and think it's simple, but it is not. It is actually one of the most complex joints, and it is the largest joint in the human body. So we have the medial collateral and lateral collateral. Those are the ligaments that are on the side of the knee, and then the ACL and the PCL, which most people are familiar with, which is within the knee. So the ACL stands for anterior cruciate ligament, and it's a ligament located within the knee along with the PCL. The ACL, which limits the anterior tibial translation, or in simple terms, it prevents the shin from sliding too far forward over the thigh bone. Now you can imagine why it would be essential to keep the ligaments, especially the ACL, PCL, well, all the ligaments of the knee. You could imagine why it would be so essential to keep those intact, especially if you are an athlete. So the first exercise that we did there that you just saw before these broad jumps were skaters, ice skaters. And when you're doing exercise like that, you really want to take your time. So one thing that we were focusing on, you can see that because of the ACL injury, he's making good recovery, but because of that, his knee is still not fully back to that strength yet. So going too low, too fast, dropping the knee too low, too fast can cause a lot of problems, especially with the meniscus. You don't want to get into any trouble with that, especially if you already experienced an ACL tear. You don't want to deal with that. So the whole thing is taking your time. He's not extremely, getting back new into it. He's been playing soccer for a while after the surgery, so that's why we're doing exercise like this. If it was like right after the surgery and right after doing the rehab thing, you wouldn't want to do exercise like that, which include a lot of pressure on the knee, broad jumps and all that stuff. So that's the reason why we're doing that. And now we're doing some lateral, as you see, drills going around the cones like that. So once again, keeping in mind that these ligaments do play a very important role in movement of the knee.
Fast lateral shuffle. I don't know how many that was, but then 5 the other way. That was 2? I wouldn't even count. Use your peripheral vision when you're looking to the back like that. There we go. How many is that? 3. Let's go. Start at the back. 4. Let's go. Shuffle. 5. Back around. Let's go. Let's go. Shuffle. 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 How many is that? Last 5. Breathe it up. Breathe it up. So my boy out here, he killing it. So far, so good. Once again, these are more lateral drills, functional stuff, because he's a soccer player. You know, make sure we keep that in mind. He did tear his ACL, so we're also being sensitive about that. But so far, so good. We're on the rest period. Next is gonna be lateral pulls with the band. So I'm gonna have the band. He's gonna be doing lateral drives. You're gonna see, we wanna make sure we're strengthening up. Remember, soccer, man, it's not a game when it comes to those lateral movements. A lot of explosive, moving in any which direction. Oh my God. You gotta push off that foot. Push off that foot. Yep, off this one right here. You're gonna push off. There we go. Yep, you gotta push. You gotta lead with it. Push. 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 Let's go. Push. Let's go. Push. Let's go. What's the first one? Push. Let's go. Push. Let's go.
So keep in mind sport-specific training. So when it comes down to if you're a performance athlete in a specific sport, you want to keep those things in mind. So see, we'll look at here what's going on right there. You'll see because of that ACL injury, the other leg is trying to compensate for the injured leg. So you'll see that instead of driving, using that power to drive off, he's trying to use the other leg. So assessing, remember, everything when you're going through the movement, you have to assess everything. If something's going wrong, the exercise not being performed as it was intended to, then you have to adjust appropriately. So what we realized there was, for one, his center of gravity, he was too tall. For one, he was standing too tall, and the resistance was a lot more than what he could take right now on that knee. So being able to adjust, that is very important when it comes down to those stuff, because if you're an athlete, if you're a trainer training an athlete, you got to keep in mind your #1 priority is to get them stronger, not to injure them. So you go assess the situation, assess the exercise, and see, okay, what is it that is causing the hindering of the progress in that specific exercise, which obviously will go around to acute or chronic adaptations, chronic progress as they go throughout the program. So I didn't record every single thing. We did ladder drills at the actual ladder, and I didn't record that. But once again, this is really helping to build that lateral driving power, being able to cut from side to side. Remember, as a soccer player, you're running up and down the field, you're cutting from side to side at very rapid, a very rapid pace. It's not, you're taking your time and then you turn slowly. No, you're cutting from side to side very rapidly. So working on that driving, that powerful drive by using the band and having him push off as hard as he could from the side with the band, that is what we were focusing on there. So once again, compensation was taking place with the other band. We see he dropped his center of gravity too, so he's a little bit lower, being able to spread out his weight more evenly. That's what's going on there. So keep that in mind, guys. Always assessing the situation after you performed a specific exercise.
So that concludes session 1. He killed it. Yeah, bro. How you feeling? Yeah, that's the sign of I'm still feeling at peace. So that means we didn't go hard enough. But nah, he killed it. Today was more like lateral, functional drills, and now we're about to do the cool down. He's about to be a calisthenics beast. So wait on it. He's gonna be training me soon. Just wait. Yeah, you don't want to be soon, but bro, get that foam roller, man. Get that foam roller. You gotta use that. You got to. Otherwise, you end up getting injured like me, just when you brush your teeth.
So guys, keep in mind the cool down is probably just as important as the warm up. All these things need to come together to make a good workout. So anyway, guys, right now we're just doing basically static stretching. I do have no, I don't think I completed that video. So I'm going to do a video where I talk about stretching in detail, why you should or shouldn't do static stretching at the beginning of a workout. It's not set in stone. People say you shouldn't do it, but there are different variables that will dictate if you should do static stretching or explosive. I would talk about it in a different video. So basically right now we're doing static stretching. I didn't record, we did PNF stretching, which is simply proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation. That's what it is, PNF stands for. So it's more so like PNF stretching is like flexibility training, and it kind of involves stretching and contraction. I'll save all that explanation for another video, so make sure you guys subscribe if you're not subscribed to get more brain gains. But that, especially for an athlete, I really do focus on doing more of the PNF stretching for them, because remember, being flexible, being able to utilize a full range of motion in a safe manner is what you want to do, especially as an athlete, because that great range of motion, very rapidly going through that range of motion, being able to do it safely will save you a lot of injury and stress down the road. So basically that is it, guys. This is once again more of a sport specific workout. That's what this is. We're focusing on the movements that you would have, like mimicking the movements that you would do during a soccer game, being able to build up the strength to do that stuff. So having a good structured program and plan is important if you really want to get the best out of it. So incorporating strength training, flexibility training, functional training, all those things into a program, and going through them in a systematic manner is what you really want to do if you want to get the most out of a program. Don't just work out and think that you're going to get, you know, the best results. There's a difference between exercise and training. There is a distinct difference between exercise and training. You know, people who have desk job, they just want to work out and you know, maintain in good shape and things like that. That's where exercise would come into play. But if you are an athlete and you're trying to achieve an end goal, you know, work from one point to another, in a like time bound, set in time bound, hit those goals, then you definitely want to have a training program and not just exercising, you know, aimlessly going from one routine, one exercise to another and not really know what's going on. So these are these stretches that you see here. Nothing crazy about these. These are just, you know, your basic static stretches, making sure that you're taking our time to stretch the muscles that we're really focusing on. So right here, these really target the hamstrings, the glutes. That's that. The lower back, you'll feel that there. Yeah, guys. So I think I end the video later on, but in case I don't, guys, make sure you smash that like button. If this video was helpful, leave your feedback in the comment section below, especially if you made it this far. I see it's about to be 21 minutes. Sheesh, I didn't know the video was that long. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I'll probably just skip this last part of the stretching. And once again, if you want to see that in-depth stretching video, flexibility training, which I really need to do more of myself, stay tuned for that. I think it would be a good idea for me to kind of document my journey through increasing my flexibility again. When I was doing martial arts, I used to be a lot more flexible, and I definitely didn't have as much muscle mass as I did before then. So guys, remember, incorporate all these things into your training, as well as foam rolling, doing all those stuff. So that's it. The routine is done. Thanks for watching, guys.
All right, so I don't know if you guys heard, but I had lost my license in the gym. I told you they had banned me from coming to what's that gym called? 24-hour fitness. So right now, I just got my license back. I didn't record because there were mad police outside. I can't tell you all the rest of the story or you're gonna think I'm a criminal. But anyway, guess where I am? Guess where I am? Guess where I am? You guessed it. It's a cheat day every day. I'm just joking. Let me see. Sonic, you don't get this every day, you feel me? I didn't work out yet, but it's supposed to be leg day. Let me see. Press to order. I've never done this before. This is my first time ordering at Sonic ever. All right, order made. Boom. Pay with card. All right. All right, so diet. How come I'm eating this stuff? Why am I eating? I thought, yeah, I'm not supposed to eat this, right? I think my order's coming right now. So we're about to pull up and see. But guys, listen, when you work out, when you train, you can afford stuff like that. You can afford that. Ah, there we go. My guy, I appreciate it. There we go. Look at that. Damn, we lit right now. Thank you. I had you too, man. So there it is. Oh my goodness, everything that's happening all at once. Quasi, hold up real quick, bro. So here we are. This is Jolly Rancher